Hello everyone. Today we're going to discover an incredible discovery deep within Lake Titicaca that will change everything forever. Before we begin, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and follow us for more fascinating content. Let's get started. The icy turquoise waters of Lake Titicaca, the world's highest navigable body of water, have been, for millennia, a mystical mirror reflecting the Andean sky and the cradle of legends. For the Aymara and Quechua people, the lake is not just a body of water, but a sacred site, the birthplace of the sun and civilization itself. For centuries, archaeologists and explorers considered these stories mere folklore, until 21st century immersion technology and scientific persistence revealed that the legends were, in fact, a map to a truth hidden deep below. What was found down there in the cold, muddy bed has the potential to change everything forever, redefining the chronology of Andean cultures and the way we understand South American prehistory. The discovery that shocked the world of underwater archaeology began in the early 2000s, led by Bolivian explorer Johann Reinhardt and the Operation Bottleneck team, which later consolidated into international collaborative projects with the University of Pennsylvania and other institutes. Unlike previous expeditions, which were limited to surface searches, this team used high-resolution side-scan sonars and remotely operated vehicles capable of withstanding the extreme conditions of the lake's depths, which reached 281 meters. The first anomaly that caught scientists' attention wasn't an entire city, as in mythology, but rather an unusual concentration of artifacts in a specific area near the Island of the Sun, a focal point of Inca mythology. As professional divers descended to more than 20 meters, in an environment of limited visibility due to sediment, they discovered an artificial landscape that couldn't have been the work of nature. It was a mixture of submerged structures and ritual offerings spanning millennia of history. The most striking discovery was the remains of a submerged city associated with the Tiwanaku culture, a pre-Incan civilization that flourished between 300 and 1110 AD, long before the Incas. Scientists found walls, paved roads, and artificial sandstone terraces extending beneath the water. What was believed to be merely a ceremonial center on the lakeshore was actually part of a much larger, partially submerged settlement network. The immediate implication of this discovery is the revelation of the changing water level of the lake. Lake Titicaca is not a static body of water. Scientists determined that the Tiwanaku structures must have been built when the lake level was significantly lower than it is today, an indication of dramatic climatic changes in the Andes that forced the civilization to adapt or migrate. The underwater discovery provides physical evidence of a paleoclimatic event that directly impacted the development of one of the most important Andean civilizations. But the surprise didn't stop at Tiwanaku. Among the rubble and mud, scientists found thousands of intact ceremonial offerings that had been deliberately deposited in the lake over the course of 1,500 years. These offerings included ceramic incense burners shaped like pumas and jaguars, gold and silver figures, some in the form of llamas, and carved stone objects of astonishing finesse. These artifacts were not lost treasures, but conscious sacrifices made to the lake deities, a ritual practice that united the Tiwanaku and Inca cultures throughout time. The most poignant material was the Inca offering of a carved stone box containing small figures of gold, silver, and Spondylus shell. This type of offering, known as capacocha, was used by the Incas to mark important milestones or to appease the gods during droughts or illnesses. The discovery of these offerings in the depths of Lake Titicaca confirmed the central role of the lake as the principal huaca, sacred site, of the Incas, and revealed the religious continuity between pre-Inca cultures and the Tawantinsuyu Empire. What will change everything forever is not only the confirmation of the existence of submerged structures, but also the age of some of the artifacts. Preliminary dating of some ceramic and bone remains suggests the existence of human settlements on the lake shores dating back as much as 3,000 years, pushing back the chronology of urbanism and complex agriculture on the Altiplano. Lake Titicaca is, without a doubt, the cradle of Andean civilization. The discovery of lithic artifacts, stone tools, and human skeletal remains in the deepest layers of underwater sediment has opened the door to the existence of cultures even older than Tiwanaku in the area. Scientists are now investigating the possibility that the lake was the center of a tradition of lake navigation and trade that is much older than previously believed, with totora reed rafts acting as vital arteries for the exchange of goods and knowledge. Underwater exploration also revealed unexpected civil engineering. They found remains of stone docks and mooring structures that indicate sophisticated management of port activities. The Tiwanaku civilization didn't just live around the lake, they lived in and through it. This suggests that navigation and fishing were economic pillars of this society, an aspect that had been underestimated in land-based studies. The impact of what was found in the depths of Lake Titicaca is the validation of local mythology. INCA legends that speak of a city sunk by the wrath of the gods or by great floods can no longer be dismissed. The scientist has become the shaman's corroborator. The submerged stone structures are physical testimony to the event that oral tradition has preserved for hundreds of generations. The research project continues to use sonar to systematically map the lake bed with the goal of finding more evidence of these hidden cities and offerings. The archaeology of Titicaca has transformed from a terrestrial discipline to an underwater enterprise of epic proportions with the potential to unearth, or rather bring to light, the entire history of Andean civilization. Titicaca is a submerged museum that holds the key to South America's past. The island of the sun and the island of the moon, the most sacred sites in the lake, have been confirmed as pilgrimage centers for millennia, with underwater paths and ceremonial structures converging toward them. This suggests that the symbolic power of these islands as the birthplace of the Incas is much older than Inca history itself recognizes. Titicaca is not only the origin of the Incas, but also the origin of a shared spiritual consciousness in the Andes. The discovery of an intact offering of gold and ceramic figures at the bottom of the lake is a pristine window into the ritual mind of the Tiwanaku. Unlike terrestrial sites, which have been looted or disturbed, the cold and silence of the lake floor have preserved these objects as if newly deposited, allowing scientists to study the exact context of the offerings and uncover the deeper meaning of their symbols. Human history is rewritten when archaeologists discover proof that myth is a distorted memory of climatic and geological reality. Lake Titicaca, with its submerged cities and thousands of offerings, reminds us that geography is only a snapshot in time, and that civilizations flourished and disappeared at the mercy of natural forces that the current climate has made us forget. The Andean mystery now lies 20 meters underwater. If you're amazed by what's been found in Lake Titicaca, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us. There's much more to this mystery. Lake Titicaca is the perfect time capsule. Its depth and constant temperature have prevented the decomposition of organic materials and sealed the structures. The legacy of this discovery is the radical understanding that the Incas did not invent their civilization from scratch, but were the final heirs of an aquatic and ritual tradition that dates back to eras that official history has yet to fully accept. What emerged from the depths is a testament to indigenous memory and a challenge to the history books. Underwater technology has transformed Lake Titicaca from a tourist icon to an active archaeological site of global importance. Scientists are now in the massive documentation phase, using photogrammetry and 3D models to create virtual replicas of the submerged cities. The ultimate goal is to be able to navigate the streets of Tiwanaku without disturbing the sediment that has preserved its secret for over 1,000 years. The discovery of an underwater ceremonial center at Lake Titicaca compels the scientific community to re-evaluate other sacred bodies of water around the world. If the myth of Lake Titicaca has proven to be an archaeological truth, what other lakes and cenotes hold the forgotten secrets of ancient civilizations? Lake Titicaca's legacy opens a new frontier in global archaeology. The true paradigm shift emerging from the discoveries at Lake Titicaca lies in the interconnection between esoteric myth and climate history. The ritual offerings of gold, silver, and Spondylus shell were not acts of simple veneration, but rituals of cosmic balance. The Spondylus, a marine shell that arrived in the Altiplano via long-distance trade routes, was associated with rain and fertility. Its massive presence in the depths of the lake suggests that the rituals were a direct and desperate response to the periods of drought and climate change affecting the region. Scientists postulate that the submersion of parts of the city of Tiwanaku became a founding myth about destruction and rebirth, a central theme in the Andean worldview. The loss of their lands to rising waters was not seen as a defeat, but as divine proof of human fragility. The lake, which had been the cradle of life, became the tomb of civilization, and its destructive power was integrated into religion through offerings. Analysis of the sediments surrounding submerged structures is now a primary focus for determining the exact chronology of the rise and fall of the water level. Geological data, combined with radiocarbon dates from artifacts, will allow scientists to create an unprecedented climate history of the Altiplano. This climate history is not merely academic. It demonstrates that pre-Columbian societies had to negotiate environmental changes as rapid and severe as those the world faces today. The ritual continuity spanning 1,500 years between Tiwanaku and the Inca is perhaps the strongest evidence that Titicaca was a center of uninterrupted ideological power. Upon conquering the area, the Incas did not replace the Tiwanaku sanctuaries, but rather incorporated and expanded them, perpetuating the ritual of the lake offering. The thousands of underwater offerings are a library of Andean faith, a record of the priorities, fears, and hopes of more than 1,000 years of civilization. Lake Titicaca is a vortex of history preserved by water. The discovery of this entire buried city and its immaculate offerings compels humanity to recognize the temporal depth and ritual complexity of Andean cultures, and to accept that mythology is not a fantasy, but a coded memory awaiting the right scientific tool to decode it. Lake Titicaca is no longer the lake of legend, but the submerged archive of human history. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of what they found in Lake Titicaca. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, subscribe, and follow us so you don't miss our next videos full of surprises. See you next time.